Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Missy Money channel. I'm Missy and I'm a mom of 3 and the owner of Missy Money, a small business that specializes in minimalist and aesthetic cash stuffing essentials to help inspire and motivate you on your personal finance journey. Today I'm going to be cash stuffing my 4th paycheck of July, including variable expenses, sinking funds, and savings challenges. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. So I'm going to start, as always, by unstuffing my leftover variable expenses from this last pay period. And so these are the funds that I have left over spending over the past week, and I will go through and decide if I'm going to roll them over to the next pay period for extra funds or if I'm going to unstuff them. Typically, I unstuff most, if not all of them. The exception to that usually is gas, just if I haven't filled up, and I think I'm going to need to fill up in the next week. So groceries, I have $9 left. Food delivery, I have $20 left. Gas is spent. Entertainment, I have $20 left. Shopping, I have $20 left. Kids has $5 left. And then miscellaneous has $20 left. And then as always, I'm going to keep my spent envelope, the money in my spent envelope until the very end of this cycle. Even though this is the 4th week, I still need to contribute to the spent envelope with this week's expenses. So my first step in next week's video will be to unstuff my spent envelope, deposit it in the bank, and pay off my cards. If you have any questions about how to use a spent envelope or how to use credit cards or debit cards within the cash stuffing system, you can check out the video I recently did on that. That helps explain those topics. But one of the things that I actually got asked I can't remember if it was I think it was a comment, and it was a really good question, was do I need to be stuffing in my wallet different denominations to enable me to make change when I make a purchase? So the idea of the spent envelope or using a credit card, for example, is, let's say you make a $40 purchase on your credit card and it was a shopping purchase. You would take the money that you stuffed in your shopping envelope, $40, and move it over to your spent envelope when you put that transaction on your credit card. And that way you're moving the physical cash that's tied to that purchase and still staying within your allotted budget for your week within the cash stuffing system. The question was, if I have smaller purchases, when I cash stuff my wallet, do I need to be planning for smaller denominations? And I thought it was a really great question. The 3 things that I do when I'm using the spent envelope are, first, I round purchases up to the nearest $5 or $10 denomination. So if it's like a $27 purchase, I would just round it to $30 and move $30 from whatever envelope was relevant into the spent envelope. The second thing that I do is I use my spent envelope as sort of a cash register or to be able to make change for myself. So let's say that I had $50 in my miscellaneous envelope. I made a purchase that was $40. I would move the $50 into the spent envelope, and I would take this $10 and put it back into the miscellaneous envelope, because then I'm still accounting for that $40 purchase, but I'm not really fully spent in miscellaneous, and I want to have those dollars that are left within miscellaneous. So I use my spent envelope to make change for myself when I have those credit card transactions. And then the third thing I do is, if I do have a category where I tend to need more flexibility, I will potentially stuff it differently with different denominations. But I also make cash purchase transactions. And so sometimes that'll give you by default some of the flexibility in the bills that you need. So for example, for groceries, I will most of the time pay with cash and get that actual physical change, and any physical change that I get from a purchase, I just put right back into the envelope. Change goes into my in my change pocket, but any of the bills just goes right back into the envelope. That by nature is going to give me more flexibility. So if I then have a grocery purchase that's a credit card purchase, I probably will have a better breakdown of bills to be able to put that back in my spent envelope. So you can plan however you want. If you're just starting out, you might want to give yourself more flexibility, particularly in your wallet categories. But That is how I use a spent envelope. And again, if you have more specific questions about how using cards in the system works, please check out that video on using cards. But that is it for what I have left in my variable expenses for this past week. I'm going to set that aside because that cash will be my contributions to savings challenges at the end of the video. So next, as always, I'm going to set aside my wallet, and I am going to start by looking at this week's paycheck breakdown and cash stuffing sheet. Let's see if I can find it. All right. So today is July 19th. This pay period is going to run from July 19th to July 25th. My next paycheck is going to be on July 26th. So you might wonder why that's not considered a July paycheck. The first paycheck of any month is going to be the paycheck with a pay period where the first of the month falls within the pay period. And so because July 26th paycheck will run from, this is a good question. July 26th paycheck will run from July 26th through August 1st. And because the 1st of August falls within that pay period, my paycheck on July 26th is going to be my first paycheck of August. So this is my fourth and final paycheck for July. And this paycheck represents 25% of my monthly income for July because I'm a weekly paid employee. So as always, there are certain categories that I keep in the bank. That is my my bills, debts, and investment categories, to include mortgage, but also to include other categories. And I just set aside 25% of those bill and debt payments with every single paycheck, so that by the end of the month, this is my fourth contribution towards those payments. So now I have all of the money in the bank that I will need for auto drafting August's bill and debt payments because I've been saving for it equally over the course of July. So I am going to keep those funds in the bank. I cash planned to stuff my weekly wallet, which again just are my variable expenses that I use on a weekly basis. And then I also cash plan to stuff my sinking funds. And I do not typically contribute to savings challenges within my paycheck because my extra funds left over from my variable expenses are my primary source of contributions to savings challenges. If you like to plan for savings challenge contributions above and beyond the leftover variable expenses, you certainly can do that. And I know a lot of people do choose to do that. So my cash planning summary for this paycheck is a total of $1,039. So I went ahead and I'm going to move this out of the way. And I went ahead and went to the bank and got the cash I needed for stuffing this week. So $1,039. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in my cash holder. Straighten that up. All right. Split back to the page so I know what I'm going to stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start, as always, by stuffing my wallet for the week. So the first category that I'm going to stuff is groceries. And as usual, I'm going to put $200 in for groceries. Again, groceries, sometimes I will have a trip that's just a small trip just for some, odds and ends. And for that, I'll usually use cash so I can get the mix of bills back. Other times I'm ordering online with Kroger and then having the blue truck bring it to me. And for those, since it's an online purchase, I will move money from my grocery envelope back into my spent envelope to represent that transaction. So we usually have a good mix of things going on over the course of the week for groceries. Food delivery is going to get $150. Tonight is pizza night. Every single Friday we do pizza night with the kids. They look so forward to it. Gas is going to get $30. I know that feels really low, but we are luckily in a hybrid work environment, both my husband and I, and so we really don't go into the office too often. And other than that, we work from home, and we don't go a lot of places with 3 little ones, or if we do go places, it's like a close park or like the neighborhood ice cream stand. So we just don't use a lot of gas, which I guess we're lucky that way. Entertainment is getting $50 this week. That feels so foreign because forever and ever I stuffed $30 in entertainment, but because we just recently paid off the car, I had a little bit more flexibility. So $50 for entertainment. Shopping is also getting $50. And shopping can be any sort of thing. It can be like an Amazon purchase that we randomly need. It can be like a beauty purchase that we randomly need. It can really be anything. Kids are getting $60. Kids I usually pull from if it's like a unique activity for them that we're gonna go do. And then miscellaneous is getting $50, and miscellaneous is my oops category because inevitably I do not plan for something that pops up, and so miscellaneous is kind of just a fail safe. So that is my weekly wallet stuffing. Next, I am going to go ahead and move into my sinking fund categories. All right, sinking fund. So starting with vacation. Vacation is getting $50. So vacation now has 50, 150, 250, 350, 450, 550, 600, 650 for vacation. Our plan for vacation is it's going to be a big vacation, so we're going to be saving for it for a little while, but we really want to take the kids down to Disney. The kids are getting super into Disney characters, not only Mickey Mouse Funhouse, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, but Bluey characters. They're starting to get into Disney princesses. My daughter will sing Let It Go all day, every day if you let her. We have a little Tony's box and we have all of the Disney characters, and so they've got songs from, The Lion King memorized, Cinderella memorized, and so and they're starting to put together like characters with the songs and faces to names, and so we really want to take them down to Disney and go to probably a park or two like Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and then hop on a Disney cruise, which feels super ambitious. So this is, like I said, more than a year away for sure, and we're gonna definitely need that long to save for it. But we're just getting really excited about having like a rough plan on the calendar because we have not taken a vacation since before my first was born, before I was even pregnant with our first, which would have been literally more than 5 years ago. So we are super due. So because it's been so long, we're kind of just going for it. All right, health and medical. Sorry, health and medical is getting $25. So health and medical now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95, 200, 510. All right, insurance premiums are getting $20 this week. So we now have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 145 in insurance premiums. All right, home maintenance. Home maintenance is getting $40. So home maintenance now has 20, 40, 60, 80. Car maintenance is getting $20. So car maintenance now has 40. Holidays is getting its usual $40. Whoa. So holidays now has 100, 150, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, $840 in holidays. Shoo, barely fits. All right, self-care is getting $25. So self-care now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. All right, pet care. Pet care now is getting $25. So pet care now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. In pet care. Events. Events is getting $25. And events now has 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. I did this last time too. 76. I keep forgetting that there are so many ones in here. I'm just used to putting the 5 in the back. 176 in events. I remember I did that last week. All right, donations. Donations is getting $20, which is going to put donations at $40. Clothing is getting $50. That's going to put clothing at 50, 100, 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 155. Kids activities is getting $60, which puts kids activities at 50, 150, 210, 20, 25. Can't stand when like a bill crinkles. I have to straighten it. All right, gifts is getting $40. So gifts now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. And school. School is getting what's left. So that is $9. So school now has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78 in school. All right, and that is it for sinking funds for this paycheck. All right, so I am going to go ahead and get the cash that we got here for leftover variable expenses, which is going to be the contributions that I make to savings challenges. All right, and then they're like super bent. All right, and then we've got our ones. So I'm going to go ahead and, as always, I am going to start with the 52-week savings challenge. The 52-week savings challenge requires you to stuff a certain amount, which is why I always start with it first, so that I make sure that I'm checking this one off before moving to other savings challenges that are a little bit more flexible in terms of the amount that you're contributing. So the 52-week savings challenge is really simple in that you just contribute the amount of cash to the week that you're in. So I am in week number 29 of the 52-week challenge. I started the 52-week challenge at the beginning of the calendar year back in January, but you can start this challenge during any week. It's just about going for 52 weeks. So if you are wanting to get started with saving money, but you aren't sure where to start in terms of savings challenges, this is a really great starter challenge, and you can start with week 1 whenever you're ready. So I am going to contribute $29 because it is week 29. And then I'm going to come all the way back here. I was like giving these a good push to kind of flatten them down. And I am going to mark that one off on my tracker. All right, so that is it for the 52-week savings challenge. The next challenge that I contribute to is the 12-month savings challenge. So I'm gonna flip over to July. And because this is the fourth paycheck and the last paycheck of July, I am going to want to make sure that I fill in all of my symbols for July. So that means I need, each symbol on my tracker is worth $5, and I have 13 symbols left. So that means that I need to contribute $65, which, no way, which is exactly what I have. So I will not have any additional dollars to contribute to the 100 envelope savings challenge, which is fine. That challenge is really flexible in terms of how long it takes you to finish and kind of contributing as cash becomes available. But I'm really glad that I have what I need to finish this challenge. So that is great. So I am going to go ahead and finish coloring in my July symbols. If I were not trying to do this for speed on camera, I would be so much more like OCD about staying in the lines, but I always feel pressure to do it quickly, like somebody's timing me on the other end of this video. All right. So by filling in all of the symbols on July, that means that I saved $250 for the month of July, which was my goal. That's my goal for every month for the 12-month savings challenge. So that is super exciting. So I am going to go ahead and pop all of that back into the July folder. And that means I am all set for the 12-month savings challenge for July. So next week will be my first paycheck of August. So that will also be my first contribution to the August savings challenge. So we'll be able to see what that symbol is for August and start a new month. But that is it because I don't have any cash left. There'll be no contributions to the 100 envelope savings challenge. So that 12-month savings challenge contribution wraps up my savings challenges for the week. And that actually wraps up my cash stuffing for my fourth paycheck of July. As always, I just want to take a moment to thank everybody that watches this video, that subscribes, that comments, that likes it, that engages in some way, because it truly means so much to me. And as somebody who's been on, a personal finance journey for several years, it really feels awesome to have a community behind me. So I just appreciate you being part of this community, for engaging on this video. And if you are on your own personal finance journey, as always, I wish you a simple budget, a calm mind, and a happy life. Thanks so much for watching.